Hi, I'm Teresa from Phoenix Gate Crafts, and welcome to my third podcast. Yeah, I don't really have a ton to talk about. No super big projects in the works this time, I'm afraid. So I suppose we should start with what I'm wearing, and this is a virus poncho, just to give you an idea. Here we go. You know, these patterns have been around for forever. I think I made this one in 2018. And it's one of those 4 round repeats. It's crocheted. And I have 2 of these. The other one is more fall colors. But, you know, we're a few weeks before Easter and I'm feeling spring. I'm really ready for spring. I don't like rain. I'm in California. We have summer and rain and I'm ready for summer. You know, if you don't feel good, fake it, I guess. I've been sick for about a month, so I was actually sick for about 2 weeks. I'm doing much better, but I still need like my inhalers and my decongestant. It is not COVID. I did get tested, but you know, I'm pretty much over the virus. I'm just now clearing the rest of the gunk out of my system, and it's not fun. And I still feel tired, but not as bad, and it's just been a long month. Let's talk about whips next. I haven't made a ton of progress, but I did make some progress on my poncho, my knitted poncho in lace weight yarn. And I mean, I knew it when I got into it, especially since I changed it up a few times. Lace weight takes forever. But as you can see, my red is getting thicker and thicker. I increase it by 2 rows every time, or rounds. And I am now working on some red again. That's what's attached. And I am making progress slowly but surely. Now, don't call me Shirley. But I'm getting to a point where I'm ready to do something else for a little while. So this is on hiatus until I get another project done and maybe another project worked on. I don't know. My plan is to have this done before summer, but realistically it'll be done before Christmas. And you know what, I'm okay with that. I just recorded a video about whips and leaving them and however many you have being okay. And this might just have to be a whip for a while. I don't know. This is a hobby for me, so not having motivation is totally okay. Now, the thing I have motivation on is actually a pretty old pattern because I got it about 20 years ago. I'm not sure if I got it in 2004, 2005, or 2006. All of them sound like me. I could have still been in high school. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I was in junior college, and I got this one from Joann Fabrics. And as you can see, it's a bunch of shoes. And I'm not a shoe person. I mostly got it because everything they had at the time was very old lady. You know, it was all flowers and kittens, and I mean, they're cute, but I don't know if you noticed, that's not exactly my style. I like, I don't know, more goth, more anime, more meme. Meme wasn't really a thing quite yet, but you know, this really wasn't it. And I don't know how the heck I managed it. I got the outline. So typically on cross stitch projects, you're supposed to start in the center. You figure out the exact center, you start there, and you kind of build it out. I did not. Somehow, I started on the outline, this little border, and then I did this bow right here. I'll show you. I did this bow right here. And the thing is, I didn't know how to read a pattern yet. So I don't know how I did this. I think it was a combination of looking at the pattern, because it does have a pattern in there with the code and everything, and looking at the front for the color, and then just kind of doing my best guess. I had no process for it. I totally have a process now, and I've managed to finish most of the border. The only thing I still have to do is the gray on this step, but I didn't really feel like doing that at the time, so I decided to work on this shoe because I really like blue and it has blue. And I kind of like it. I'm getting some of the form done and I like it. It's coming along nicely. And actually, I really like this fabric. I don't know what it is. Like, okay, the front says it's 14 count cotton Aida. But this is so much nicer than the cheap shit Aida I've been getting off of like Amazon and from Joann Fabrics and stuff lately. So I don't know if they just like did it differently or if there was a different style of Aida that I should ask for. So if anybody happens to know, please drop a comment, let me know. I'd like to know. But yeah, this is what I've been working on and it's been fun. I'll probably do a shoe or two, lose motivation, and then switch back to my other project. I really also want to work on my Ocarina of Time stained glass window cross stitch, which is like huge. It's like 50 inches by 30 inches. If I can, I'll put a picture of what it's supposed to look like here. I have Raru's nose done, and if you play that game, you know that's only this much. I've got like his nose and a little bit over here. And it is highly unimpressive, so I should really, start working on that thing, especially since I got all the thread for it. So that's what I've been working on. That's not what I've been working on. I have some finished projects this time. So we'll start with the boringest one. My temperature stitch is done. And yeah, it's been cold. We've been between 50 and 70 degrees for basically 2 months with only 2 days officially recorded according to the source that I've been using for historical temperatures. We've only actually hit 70 degrees twice. And that was in January. Although you can tell because I've got the lighter blue, we have been generally warmer than we were in January. And this one right above that last little dark blue, that was my husband's birthday. So, and yeah, I did put the key, which was very easy. And I actually was going to put the green or the light or the dark blue up here, but then I realized I had a lot of space, so I just kind of put it whatever. It doesn't matter. I gave this to my husband because his birthday is in February. Not that he reads very many physical books. Usually he reads like sources online and stuff. But, I did this. I didn't do anything with the back because I don't give a shit. I just don't. It's okay. When you use it, you stick it in a book and you stick it this side up, and if anybody sees the back, well, they know it's a real thing. I don't like artificial thickness, and this bookmark is basically pre-made. I got it off of Amazon. The next thing I made is right here. And I'll post a closer up picture of it right here because I don't feel like fighting with it to get it down off the wall and then put it back up. How do you tell you're a millennial? You know that you went to school and played the Oregon Trail. The shitty one, not Oregon Trail 2, which is still kind of crap, but for different reasons. Andy figured out how we could play it online using a simulator. So we played it. I kept dying of dysentery. Thank you, Andy. But this one says, get in, loser. We're going to die of dysentery. So here's the cool thing. That frame has a backing on it where, you have that little kickstand that kicks out in the back. So this spot is going to be where I put up a seasonal stitch when I have them. Like that Fa La 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 one I had up at Christmas. Made it into a few videos. So that can come down and go on my bar or on the table or somewhere. And then when I need to fill that space again after holiday, it can go back up. So I like that. And the last but not least I have is this one that says Gracias, and it has a little rose bush. Now, my gardener is amazing. I don't pay for him, my landlord does. And I know she only pays for like basic care and maintenance, mowing the lawn and taking care of the bushes in front of the house to make sure that they look nice and squared off. But last year I planted the dirt patch that used to be a tree, but the tree got cut down because it wasn't safe anymore. And so I decided to actually plant my garden in the ground this year instead of just in pots. I did still do pots, but most of it was in the ground. And I planted a rose bush trying to get my dog to stop digging. It's worked in that spot, need to get a few more all over the place. So he in January trimmed the rose bush without prompting and before I had a chance to figure out how to do it. And then he actually cleared all the weeds and dead plants out of the dirt patch, which is above and beyond. That is hard work. I don't have the right tools for it or the will to do what I was waiting until I wanted to plant again. I noticed the day he did those things, separate days he came and did them. And so I wound up wanting to stitch him a little thank you. And I could not, for the life of me, find a little thank you stitch for a gardener. I mean, it is a bit niche, I understand that. Most people don't make stuff for their gardeners. So I made my own. The pattern is available in my Etsy shop. I do have the link in the description box. Just because I figured I might not be the only one who wants to do this. And here's the reason I did it in Spanish. He speaks Spanish. And I watched an interview with Antonio Banderas one time in my linguistics class. And he was saying how he could say, I love you all day, every day in English. It's no problem because I love you are just sounds. He knows what they mean, but they're just these weird sounds in this foreign language to him. He has a lot more trouble saying I love you in Spanish because that's his native language and it really means something. So when you're an actor and you're saying this to somebody you really don't care that way for, it suddenly becomes harder, especially since I think he's like married or something at the time of the interview. I'm not sure. So, you know, that's not the person he wanted to say I love you to. And it becomes hard. So, you know, here in the US, everything is in English. I figured he'd probably appreciate something in his own language. So I made a pattern. I made a rose bush. I made some grass. I put it in a frame and then the back of the frame wouldn't fit in. And I did my quick and easy framing method, which is to use acid-free sticky paper and then use double-sided tape to stick it down on the back. I cut the corners out so that way it doesn't like gather up in the back. And then the backing, it was just a little too thick for the backing to stick in. So I just used more double-sided tape and stuck the backing on. The piece wasn't falling out, it was stuck firmly inside. Like I couldn't even get it out to remove the glass to maybe try and do it that way. Didn't work. So I just stuck everything together with double-sided tape and I gave it to him. And I gotta tell you, his face just lit up. It was the happiest I think I've ever seen him. He's a very nice man, he's very sweet, and he really does a lot of care for my garden. You know, he's only stepped in dog shit once, and that was totally a mistake on my part, and I apologize. And it hasn't happened since. We missed one that week. And he is so nice and kind, and he was just so happy, and he told me he was going to put it in his living room at home. So that just made my day. I hope it made his. And, you know, that's kind of why I love making stuff. I love making stuff that people like and makes them happy. And a personal tip, if you're getting a lot of shit because nobody likes crocheted or knitted items, maybe try cross stitch because people at the very least like memes. Like that one. And you can actually use it to say something. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. I know it's just a short one this time, but I'm boring. Bye.